Today we're going to talk about asparagus. This beautiful green vegetable is often in our supermarkets, in our markets, but not everybody is happy taking this beautiful plant because it requires a little bit of cooking. But the plant itself, this vegetable, is really amazing. It's got a lot of vitamins. It's got vitamin C, vitamin A. It's very rich in vitamin K, very good for clotting of your blood and for general health. And it has many other micronutrients and flavonoids and antioxidants. It's got lots of different antioxidants in it. Some people find it difficult because in addition to requiring gentle cooking, it also produces the vegetable itself doesn't produce the smell, but when you ingest it, your body fluids start to acquire this unusual smell. You begin to notice it when you go to the toilet, but that only lasts for a few hours, like after you've eaten it, and then it goes away. And I think the benefits of eating this plant by far outweigh any inconveniences. So we're going to talk about cooking this plant. So in order to cook this, it's not that difficult actually. You can boil it, you can gently steam it, and that's all that it requires really. You can even grill it. You can grill it with a little bit of oil, very gently. You don't need to do much, and that's it. One thing to look is when this vegetable isn't very fresh. I think this particular one is showing signs of not being. You can also smell it when it starts to smell. And the tips, you see these tips, they become the first sign that they're already losing its freshness. So I'm going to remove this one, but with remaining stems and tips of asparagus, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut the very tops, and I'm going to cut off the very ends also, because the tops often show signs of reduced freshness, and the ends are very hard, and they remain hard when you steam them or boil them. So with the remaining parts, I'm going to chop them in small sections like this, and I'm going to put these sections into my pot. I'm going to remove these. So here goes another one. At the very end also I'm going to remove. So these sections are going to be steamed gently. So these asparaguses, I had them for a day or two, or more like for a day without water. One tip, actually, you can put these in a glass of water like this, and they will remain fresh and juicy for much longer. But I think I only kept them without water for a day, so it's not a huge problem. Okay, so these are now ready to go in. I'm going to remove these. These are getting unfresh. Okay, and this is going in. So this is what my pot going to look like. It's got all these asparaguses sections in it. I'm going to wash this gently, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water, and I'm going to gently steam. It only requires steam these asparaguses. It only requires like a minute or two. It doesn't require very long time. So I now have my asparagus tips in water. This water is going to come to boil very soon, so I'm going to gently steam my tips. I'm going to add a little bit of salt here, and I'm going to add some pepper. I think it's nice when they're steamed with pepper, so they become infused with those aromatic flavors coming out of pepper. So the water will start to boil very soon, and we'll only need very gentle steaming before they're ready. To check whether they're ready or not, you just gently tap when they're still hard and produce that woody response. Then they're not ready yet. But when they become softer and your spoon begins to almost dive into the flesh, then you know they're practically ready. So here we are. So we've got a bit of steam coming off now. After steaming them, they can also be then gently sprinkled with olive oil or any other sauce of your choice. Some people also add lemon juice. That certainly will add additional flavor, but I don't normally add lemon juice. The amount of steaming you put them through also depends on your personal preference. If you really want them crunchy and harder and provide you with unprocessed fiber, which is generally very good for you, then you really can just finish your steaming preparation now. I mean, they're still quite hard, but you can eat them with very minimal amount of steaming, really. They will be much harder and you'll have to chew them much more vigorously in this case. But I will allow for some additional time in hot water, in boiling water and steaming, in order to get them to a state where they're very pleasant. I mean, they'll still be firm, but I will want my asparaguses slightly softer and more pleasant too, because I'm going to eat them with my Eggs Benedict, and I want them not to be too hard, because the overall texture and composition of Egg Benedict is quite soft and pleasant in your mouth. So I want these also to melt in your mouth and provide this additional flavor for this experience. So yes, I will allow them to cook a little longer. To bring some more heat. But I can already smell that aromatic profile, that asparagus aromatic profile, cooked asparagus. It has that very distinctive aromatic profile about them. Okay, that's a little too much. Well, now I can feel that the outer layer is becoming softer, so I no longer get that bright, woody bounce when I tap them, but I will continue steaming for a little longer to get them even softer. Okay, they are now getting much softer, so they're now becoming more like a rubbery, one of those rubbers, erasers, where there is still some firmness, but you can see that if I try and dig my spoon in, they do give, they allow for spoon to almost cut them. Yes, so I think they're ready now. They will be crunchy. They're not gonna, if you cook them longer, they will get softer and softer. But you really don't want them to be too soft, so that they turn into some, you know, sleazy, mushy kind of form. So because that's not gonna be, that's gonna be too. I mean, if you like that sort of thing, that's fine. But I think I'm going to now reduce the heat. I will remove the heat, and I will now remove them from water and serve them with my eggs, with my poached eggs Benedict. I think that's going to be a fantastic combination. So I've got my eggs Benedict prepared here. I've got another video on how to make a perfect eggs Benedict and how to make a perfect poached egg and eggs Benedict breakfast. So you can watch that video. It is somewhere here on this channel. But now I'm going to add my cooked asparaguses here. Here we are. And they will provide that additional flavor and additional goodness and nutritional benefit. Here we are. So that looks gorgeous now. And my asparagus, my steamed asparagus and egg Benedict breakfast is ready to be eaten.